Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. If you're absolutely in love with the New York Knicks like I am, I recommend clicking that red subscribe button down below and lighting up that post notification bell so you do not miss any future content on this channel. And we're back with another draft video, the second New York Knicks draft prospect that they went on to select, and his name is Tyler Kolek out of Marquette. He's a point guard that stands at 6'1", 195 pounds with a 6'2" wingspan. He just came off of his senior season. He's 23 years old, averaging 15 points per game, 7.7 assists. He shot 85% from the charity stripe, over 50% from the field. And then if you take a look at the efficiency from three, shot 38.8% from three, and he also averaged a steal in over 30 minutes per game. And the way I look at prospects, of course, it's great to have the balance if you have the skill plus the athleticism. But if you take a look at Tyler Kolek, he's the definition of, I don't give a shit that he's not crazy fast, that he didn't run a crazy, crazy shuttle time, doesn't have a crazy vertical. At the end of the day, do you have great footwork? Can you read the game? Do you have good fundamentals? Are you a smart basketball player? Can you play the game of basketball? Because no disrespect to Keon Johnson when I look back at him, or Tyler Bay, those guys had so much potential coming out. They could jump, they had a fast shuttle time. You know, they're young, they have a lot of potential. But at the end of the day, can you read the game of basketball? If you have the IQ plus the talent, of course, that's awesome. But at the end of the day, you have to have a combination of both, or you have to be very smart. And what I love about Tyler Kolek, this dude could just play the freaking game. And I'm not just someone that's jumping on the bandwagon. I could literally put up a tweet saying, like, I think people are overthinking this guy. I don't care about his athleticism. He plays very patient. He's very smart. Dude's a straight-up competitor. He's a dog. I said something around those lines. Maybe not the dog part. And I said that before he was drafted. I said he was going to be on the New York Knicks radar. I'll be honest, I didn't think he was going to be there, like, later on with that 34th overall selection. I thought he was going to be drafted a little earlier than that, around like maybe 28, 20, 29. But of course, I'm happy that the New York Knicks went on to get him. We had to move a couple second-round draft picks because it was our decision to draft him, but the Trailblazers initially drafted him, and we had to make the trade in order to get him. But I'm really glad we got him because he gives us something that we don't have, and I really do think he's going to get an opportunity because even though, yes, we have McBride off the bench now, we have Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, so it switches up things when it comes to the bench. But to me, he's more of a natural point guard than McBride. I know he still needs to prove himself, though, from a patient standpoint at the NBA level. You know, it is a little bit of a quicker game than the college level playing at Marquette. Even though he's 23 years old, he's very experienced, and you could tell this guy locks himself in the gym. You know, he watches tape. I definitely get that vibe from him, and he's just a fearless individual. So McBride is a good off-ball catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, solid on-ball defender, high-energy individual. Dude is an absolute spark plug, no doubt about it. But Tyler Kolek, yes, he could score the basketball, but I always think pass first with this guy. Even his junior season or the year before, he was still a 7-assist per game guy. You know, he's someone that's able to pass the basketball but could also score. He was one of the most balanced, like, passing and scoring players, like, in the country when it came to college basketball. McBride still has ways to go when it comes to his decision-making or just overall reading the game in general, while I think Tyler Kolek can give us that luxury of that he could read the game and he can give us easier shots. Jalen Brunson, he is someone that is a solid passer. He averaged 6 assists per game, but we all know he is score first. While you look at Kolek, like, we're going to get easier shots at the basket if we give this guy time, and if he goes on to really develop and just continue to get better in training camp, and like his development or just him getting better goes as smoothly as like we hope for a 23-year-old player. But at the end of the day, he is still a rookie. No matter how old you are, there's going to be an adjustment period when it comes to the speed of the game. But one of the things I've always noticed in the playoffs, in the regular season, is that we don't throw a lot of lobs. We don't get those easier shots around the basket. But with Tyler Kolek, this dude just runs the pick and roll to perfection, running off of his teammate's hip when it comes to that screen. You know, great timing. He knows where his teammates like to be. He's great at anticipating. He doesn't just wait till they're literally at the basket. He has great timing that he's like, okay, they're starting to get to that free throw line area. I know he's about to take off very soon, like a couple inches in after that free throw line area, or like 1 foot in. Like, he has such great timing, and he just knows his teammates' tendencies. He's such a smart basketball player with great timing, great anticipation. So that's what I absolutely love. So he brings us something more of a true natural backup point guard that I feel like we need that luxury out there on the floor to get easier shots, because in crunch time, when guys get tired, like, you're going to need someone that can really create, you know, put pressure on the defense, get into the teeth of the defense, dump it off, make the simple fundamental extra pass, and he does that. Like his ability to read the game is unbelievable. I know he's 23 years old and you're like, you kind of expect that, but when a screen's being set, yes, he's reading his individual on-ball man, but he's also reading ahead of that. He's reading the helper. Like, what's the helper doing? Like, what's his mindset? Is he guarding me left? Okay, I'm gonna go right. Is he guarding me right? And it's like, is one side of the floor gonna be open? He just reads the game at such a high level that I absolutely love, and I think just from a mentality standpoint and how much he loves it is amazing. And because defenses know he focuses so much on getting his teammates involved, if it's someone flashing in the middle, cutting from the dunker spot, they try to shut off that area. I think they did that in the Purdue game or UConn game. I'll put it on the screen, whatever example it was that I did see when I was watching his film, when I was watching like every play that he did out there on the floor. And they're like, okay, you're cutting that off, you're making me drive, I can drive. And he is a solid quick first step. I wouldn't say he has some crazy burst, but he does like going to that finger roll. He does like going to that, like that lays, has a solid touch. Sometimes he can be a little too quick and it can go a little too strong off the back iron, but he is someone that's just an aggressor. He's fearless as shit. And yes, he's not crazy athletic, and you watch his film, you're not going to see him dunk the basketball. You're not going to see that with him, but he's aggressive, he's sneaky strong. I think he's a little sneaky athletic when it comes to the standpoint of his strength and his physicality. Like, he had plays that he went at Zach Edey. Keep in mind, like, Tyler Kolek has a 6'2" wingspan, dude's 6'1", going at a 7'4" guy who's one of the best players in the country. You know, has one of the longest wingspans. He's a solid athlete, even though he's not crazy fast, Zach Edey. He went at him. And what he makes up for not having crazy athleticism is great footwork. You know, reverse pivots. You know, he does a great job also using head fakes. I know that's not footwork, but he does a really good job jump stopping. And he watches a lot of Brunson film. Before he was drafted, he said the players he watched the most is Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic.
I feel like a lot of the stars and the guys that really love to score the ball love to play with me just because I find them in any position and have those conversations of where they like the ball, what kind of spots they like the ball in. But, you know, I love watching Jalen Brunson, just the way he does it at his size. His footwork is really incredible. I love watching Luka, you know, his pace, the way he kind of plays under control at all times.
You could see that patience in his game. You could really see that when you see him get to the triple threat, and he even has a little hook shot in his game as well. He is a spin move. So there's a play like I absolutely loved is that he manipulated the defense very well with his feet, and he goes to a little hook over Zach Edey. I'm like, holy shit, he definitely does watch some Jalen Brunson and Luka Doncic film, because even though Luka Doncic is taller at 6'8", Brunson being 6'1", he's someone that can dunk the basketball, but he's a perfect example of if your fundamentals are so great, if your footwork's so great, if you have such a high IQ and you're addicted to the game, you're still going to be a very successful player. And I feel Tyler Kolek definitely looks up to a player like that, and that was before he was drafted, so he could learn from Jalen Brunson. He's hungry to learn, which I absolutely love. So he's a very fundamental basketball player, and he does little things that I love, that he just recognizes when to reject screens. He notices when a defender's hips are a little maybe too open to the left, and let's say a screen's being set on the the right side. It's like you could see he's out of position, so he's like, F this, I'm rejecting the screen and I'm gonna move this way, and I know there's gonna be open space because he's defending me this way. Like, he does a really good job reading the defender's hips. He's just an overall very, very smart basketball player. He knows how to catch guys on his hip and be patient, go to a push shot, or just work down the lane and just put up that floater. And I saw a play that was so freaking identical to a crunch time of Game 6 versus Philly that he does such a great job manipulating, using his feet, just doing a good job, like slowing down, speeding up, change of speed, change of direction. And I love to play also when I was watching film. I saw this several times. Like, he was on the baseline, but then he got into the middle. It like looked like he was going to go up for a floater, but just that slight hesitation got the defense to bite, and he was able to get in, or he could dump it off. Because when he gets the defense to bite, and because he does such a great job getting into the paint and using his feet and just being so patient out there on the floor, it opens up so much for a layup or dumping it inside or a kick out opportunity, pinching and kicking, which I absolutely love with Tyler Kolek. Again, he's just such an overall smart basketball player. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star, but he's definitely going to be a very quality player. I really believe that if given the opportunity with the New York Knicks this upcoming season. But yeah, he knows how to reject screens. He reads the game at a very high level, and he just knows when to slow down, knows when to attack. He's an unpredictable offensive player, but it's like he's so frustrating. You think you know what he's going to do. It's like, but damn, like, his footwork is so manipulative out there on the floor. And he's a very good three-point shooter. Dude shot 38% from three. he's going to make you pay if you go under screens. It's just the reality. He's going to make you pay. He does kind of have a dip in his shot. He is a lefty. The mid-range game, I'm not sure if that's something he's fully going to want to develop right now. Of course, it would be very awesome if he was able to develop that, but I still like that he has a floater. I really like that he can get to the basket, open things up for the defense. He can make guys pay. So as of right now, with his skill set, I think he's going to be able to translate over and be very solid. Again, I don't know his mindset of how much he wants to expand his offensive game. Obviously, you want to get better at everything. But just these whip passes, these wraparound passes, getting to the defense, wrapping it around the defense, he just does a great job manipulating defenses with his eyes. And he just reads the game at such a high level. You're like, wait, holy shit, how did he know he was there? Like, this dude's addicted. You could tell he's a film junkie the way he reads the game. It's like not many players see that out there on the floor. I'm not saying he's some freaking generational passer, but he definitely is one of the most balanced players when it came to coming out of the country or coming out of this college season. Scoring the ball with the balancing of passing the basketball as well. And he's going to make guys better. That's just the reality. He's going to make the second unit better if given the opportunity. And maybe he's going to struggle a little bit off the bat like all rookies, but I really think he has the mental toughness. He has the work ethic to really get better in that department. But he's someone that does a great job relocating. He's always aware of like where he is on the floor and where the open spots are in the zone or open spots of like how he's being defended. He's like, okay, they think I'm a threat at the 3-point line. I am a threat at the 3-point line, but I'm going to do some off-ball movement. I'm going to cut. I'm going to relocate. I'm going to keep relocating until we get an easy shot. He just always tries to get the best shot within the offense. You watch Marquette, they constantly move the basketball. But again, the ball pops out of this guy's hands. He's amazing at throwing lobs, getting guys involved, recognizing guys cutting. He is such a high basketball IQ, and he stays with plays. Like, I remember this play that he missed this layup, but he got the offensive rebound. He's one of the smallest players on the court. Dude goes up strong as shit and is able to finish. Like, he finishes with some English. He knows how to push the ball ahead as well. He just recognizes the tempo of the game. Like, oh, we have to slow it down. No, we have to push it. We have to freaking push it. Like, he's such an aware player, which I really believe you need at the next level. Of course, he's gonna have to translate to the speed of the game. He's gonna have to learn about the speed of the game. But yeah, I think he's solid shot mechanics. Sometimes he's a little hesitant with his mechanics, which I don't like. I remember seeing, I know it's like a shoot around video, but I'm like, why is he a little hesitant? Even like some shoot around videos, is it like, I don't think there's a hitch there. Maybe it's a little nitpicky what I'm saying here, but sometimes you can see a shot, it's like kind of slower. I'm like, come on, just shoot it, just let it rip, just snap your wrist, let it rip, put your hand in the cookie jar. And sometimes you're like, come on, maybe speed up those mechanics, and maybe that's something he's going to have to work on. But dude's going to be a good passer at the next level. He's going to be able to read the game, He's such a patient player. He does such a good job probing around. He could be in the corner. He's like, I'm just going to be patient. I'm going to keep my dribble alive. He does such a great job with that. He's like, I'm just going to keep probing until someone's open, but he also has the recognition to protect the basketball, put his back against someone if someone's picking him up full court or even in a half-court setting. So he does a good job probing around, finding someone even like with those pocket passes for a floater, because he had a center that he played with who was really good with the floaters, which would have been perfect with Hartenstein, but of course he's not on the roster. We'll see again what happens with that backup center position for the New York Knicks. If we bring back a Chua, but he's not a 5 to me, but he does a really good job finding guys with those pocket passes, being very patient. And just overall, when it comes to screens not being set, he's going to be limited as an offensive player, like shooting jump shots. We'll see how that quick step translates to the next level, because he finished with physicality. Like, he really does go at guys, which I really do like. But yeah, he's a great prober for like scoring the basketball, getting to his floater, getting to the basket, but also finding guys. He's very smart. Something that I feel like you really need is how can you handle blitzes at the next level, and dude just handles blitzes as cool as a cucumber. He recognizes the weak spot in the defense. He recognizes, okay, I'm being double teamed at the top. Maybe someone's going to be open like in the middle for a dunk opportunity. Like, he just knows where his teammates are. He recognizes who's going to be open with high pressure situations. And his defense is so fascinating to me because dude just a fearless individual. Like I said, he wasn't afraid to help out when it came to Edey, putting pressure on Stephon Castle. I'm not saying from that one play that he locked him down, but it just shows his competitive spirit. And yes, he's going to get shot over, but man, does he know how to clog the lanes. This dude knows perfect timing, anticipating steals, jumping the passing lane, clogging in the middle. He just overall such a smart player. He recognized when to communicate, like, send me help, I'm limited in this this position right now, but I love that he stays attached through screens. And there's going to be guys like at the NBA level, they're probably really going to be hunting him with cuts because they're going to be like, well, he doesn't have the wingspan, only a 6'2" wingspan. He's only 6'1". He's strong, but he's not crazy strong. So they're definitely going to try to abuse him at the next level when it comes to cuts and guys that overall have great athleticism, and especially players that are very limited when it comes to their offensive game, like a Patrick Williams, for example. Let's try to have as many switches as possible and put him in that position. But dude, he's a fighter. He's a competitor. He's fearless. He's gonna try his best, and he really does a great job fighting for position. He has very good hands. He comes up with steals. He does a really good job when the ball's in front of him. He's not afraid to poke at the ball, but he's also disciplined of keeping his hands out at the same time. But he's good timing when it comes to steals, and I'm very looking forward to seeing what Tyler Kolek's gonna do with the New York Knicks this upcoming season. Dude's a straight up dog, straight up competitor, and we'll see what goes on to happen. Let me know down below your thoughts on Tyler Kolek. Peace out, guys.